Hello and welcome to the Moving Iron Podcast, number 62. On this episode, I will have Tanner Emke from Comate, Sean Skaggs from Livingston Machinery, and Chip Nellinger from Blue Fag Marketing, all there as well. Also, always have Aaron Fintel and Regina Nardis will be popping in here a little bit later. But for now, I just got my old buddy Aaron sitting across from me.
Old buddy.
How you doing, pal?
I'm good.
Right on. So, planter season, man, it is here.
It is. It is.
Like social media, everything. There's just plenty of guys out there right now looking to get those planters dusted off and start getting stuff going. So,
There's it's hot and heavy down along the Gulf, big time.
yeah, and our shops are hot and heavy with guys getting parts, planter clinics, and those kind of things headed off. So, what are you seeing in the planter market right now, and where you in the wholesale side of the business? What are you seeing?
You know, it's funny. The planter that every dealer in America had piled up wanted nothing to do with it. I know we would throw up in our mouths to get a trade eval in. Is the exact planter everybody needs. The 11 to 14, 24 row, probably the hottest planter out there.
Why is that?
I'm not a scientist. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not a brilliant man, but it's a lot like it's point blank. It's probably because there were so damn many of them, and they just got dumped. And obviously, when they were bringing, God, I know some of them brought 30,000-40,000 on auction 2-3 years ago.
I remember that.
Oh yeah,
I was there.
It was a bloody mess, and I assume they got exported. They went south. They went east. They went somewhere, and there's just not the numbers out there. You also have a lot of guys that probably in that realm might have jumped 12 to 16, maybe. Now they want to jump 24. I know a lot of guys across the country that are looking for that planter. And most of them don't have a 24 right now. So maybe they were just rolling into the same thing they had that was new. As times are tougher, guys are getting out. That guy's picked up some more ground. Probably because he didn't buy a new 24 planter. And now he needs it to cover his acres. On the flip side of that, I've seen a lot of demand in Exact-Emerge, and it's really surprising in the 1770 market. 24 row, no questions asked, number one planter to have on your lot. 12s and 16s are a little more tough. In the Exact-Emerge, doesn't matter. 12, 16, 24, they're all pretty hot.
Yeah.
Because, your 12 is going to do what your 16 did. Your 16 will almost do what your 24 did. Your 24 is just going to kick ass.
Yeah. Now, that's the thing, too. I mean, from one thing about the planter thing is that it went from being the most prevalent thing that any auction that you watched in 2014 would have like 73 planters and one tractor on it.
Right.
Now, it's the most scarce thing, and it's like a Sasquatch, man.
It is. They literally have evaporated.
You might see one, and it could be a myth that there's one out there or not. I mean, that's just the most sought after thing too. And I think a lot of those too, those older planters, when you start really drilling down into it, like to Exact-Emerge point, is that you read it on Twitter, you see it out there, you see guys talking about it. There was just an ad today, article today on AgWeb that talked about is hydraulic downforce worth the investment.
Right.
So now you start looking at this whole precision donor thing, and those planters really fall into that. You take that 16-row 1720, or that 24-row 1720, or the 1770 16-row 24-row, whatever it is, and you start stacking on some of this different things. And you pick this planter up for $40,000-$50,000 and spend $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on it. You're still under the price of a new one, right? But you're going to do, for the most part, everything that the from the factory unit's going to do.
Right. Yeah. If you look at it from that standpoint, as long as your bar isn't messed up,
right,
or your row unit shank, everything else can be replaced.
Right.
You rebuild the linkage, you rebuild the wheels, you throw all your precision planning stuff all over that thing. And it was a used planter. Now it's a new planter for quite a bit less than what the new planter actually costs.
Yeah. And that's too. I mean, that's very true. It's just there's a lot more options out there too now than there had been. John Deere's got their retrofit,
right?
And Precision's got their stuff, and there's all of these different things. What's Kinsey came out with a high speed planter,
right?
So, excuse me. So there's a lot of technology there that you can tell that my dad's in the oil field business, and my dad always says it's amazing how much oil they can find when it's $100 a barrel. They just can't seem to find it when it's 40.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the same thing with the planter technology right now. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. These guys have come up with this. It's not like Precision's anything new or John Deere retro kits or anything.
No.
They've been around for a long time.
Precision's been around. I remember 10 years ago we were selling Precision stuff.
Yeah.
E-sets. That was like, oh my God.
2020.
Look at this. Yeah.
So now you're looking at the different stuff that's there, and it's just like everyone is kind of slowly, because of conditions,
right?
They're starting to adopt that technology. So,
well, and it just never fails. Every year, I think there is literally nothing else you can add to a damn planter, and then the next year, whole slug of shit. We always talk about the auction book, the Sullivan catalog being the Christmas catalog,
right?
I think if you take the 1986 JCPenney Christmas catalog,
right,
and use really small print, you could not fit every damn planter attachment in that book by every company. There's no way.
So many.
No.
So many.
There's not.
It's just
every time you get on the internet, there's even something as simple as row cleaners.
Yeah.
How damn many brands of row cleaners there are?
Well, now then there's the big dry fertilizer kick now.
Right.
So it's kind of reemerged back into the deal, and because the savings is whatever that you can do with the dry fertilizer. So now that's taking that to a whole nother level with all the liquid stuff, and then you're going to talk about putting dry stuff on there. I mean, it's pretty endless what you can do with planting.
Oh yeah.
That's why, from our seats on the bus, it's so hard to value that stuff because you don't know what the next guy's going to want.
Now, from a value standpoint, the only way you can run that is, first of all, if you're the farmer, you better be in love with what you're buying and throwing on that planter. Because from a dealership standpoint, if you're doing it correctly, it's just a planter. Because the next guy, I've seen it through almost 20 years in this business, the next guy doesn't care what that thing can do. He wants it set up his way. Right. The problem you run into with so much of that fertilizer stuff is, guess what? It's been in fertilizer its entire life.
Right.
And a lot of times guys don't want to move that to their new planter.
Right.
They just want to trade it. Here it is. I'm going to start fresh with this other planter, whether it's a new one or a used one. And from that standpoint, they need to, as they buy all of this menagerie of shit to put on that planter, it needs to be however long you're going to pay, however long you're going to run that planter, your ROI needs to match, right? Because it has no trade value,
right? And that's a tough situation that we're put in. Right. Telling the guy that it's not worthless, but it's not. It's just hard for us to do because it's such a fingerprint.
It is.
One guy's wants is another guy's hate. And that's just it's just a.
Well, you can always, the guy can always sell that stuff himself, throw it on Big Iron, throw it on auction time, what have you.
Or put it on his new planter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the other option.
Well, I'm saying, right. But if he's wanting to start all new on a new planter, and there might be something like, well, I was running in furrow and 2x2, and now I want to run out the back and still run 2x2 and change everything up.
Yeah, it is a lot of give and take there.
Right.
Now, for every planter that you have out there, you got some level of tractor running out there. So, tractor market is definitely heating up. It seems like that. We've talked about it several times, but that mid-hour range, 2,000 hours something, 1,500 hours something to 3,000 hours something. Those are really starting to pick up and get a little warm. So, what are you seeing in that market, and what do you see else out there?
Well, that is a tractor that Casey and I have argued about several times on the podcast, and he said it was a hot tractor, and I told him he was batshit crazy, and I'm going to eat about half a crow, probably the front half of it. That 15 to 25 market is picking up some steam. And the problem, I will say this in my own defense, when you were saying that, I was looking at like, say 10s, first gen ARs, 10s, 11s, and 12s maybe. Now, if you look at it from a 12, 13, 14 standpoint, that is a damn hot market. It is. So I was looking at more of the older ones in that hour range. If you look at the newer ones in that hour range, it is a market that's picking up some steam. And quite frankly, there's less new ones sold every year. Those tractors are still running. You know, that 1,500 hour tractor was a 900 hour tractor a year or two ago. And that was always a hot tractor. It's just stuff is stacked up. What I've seen really pick up steam is the 3,000 to 5,000 hour 8R. If it's a nice tractor, and I don't mean a damn showroom rig or, you know, ankle deep in Firestone rubber, just a good solid tractor.
Yeah, good field tractor, guy. That's you know, I've talked to I can't remember who I talked to the other day.
A guy.
Or was it a guy?
Yep.
Anyway, he was talking to me about a customer that hadn't done anything with any of his equipment since 2013. He bought all brand new stuff, combine tractor, and all that stuff. And now it's to the point now where the hours were so far out of his normal range of operation that he was really uncomfortable with where it was.
Right.
So we're talking like $8 with 2,500 hours, 3,000 hours on 600 hours a year in 5 years. That's not uncommon, right? So you get a combine that's got 1,500 separator hours on it. I mean, and then you're at the point of some serious reconditioning costs to keep those machines running. Like you kind of got the duct tape and the bending wire about as long as you can run it, and now you're ready to start looking at doing some serious repairs. So
because Casey just told the entire world that an 8R is shot at 2,500 hours.
I'm talking about the combine. I'm talking about the combine because it's like we're talking like bearings and some serious
rotor hoods,
and those
augers, that'll change.
But it's going to be doing some serious reconditioning.
It depends on your crop.
It does.
But more often than not, at 15, you're just past the big repair bill.
Yeah, I mean,
it's typically, you know, your corn soybean guy, he's at that 13, 14, where it's like, holy shit, that hurt. And your, say, wheat corn guy out here, it's kind of 17, 18, so 15's a safe round number. Yeah, we'll just go with that.
But you're on either side of doing something crazy.
Right. Oh, yeah, you know, yeah. Either you're still throwing up from your repair bill last year,
or you're doing it,
or better move this.
Right. So that's where I think a lot of this, so much of the demand right now is from that guy that, in my opinion, is at that point with his equipment. It's either I can take $30,000 and I can put it as a down payment on something, or I can take $30,000 and go run my machine for another year and then hope that nothing
Wish
else.
I had that $30,000 back for a down payment on something.
Right. I mean, that's where a lot of guys are at. So, you know, as you keep those things in mind and you start looking at that, that's where I see that market at. That's what's driving that market, and it's the overall, like you said, it's that late model stuff. Even like you said, the higher end stuff that looks good.
Right.
You know, I mean, the tires aren't all stubble checked, and they're not. You know, they didn't run the tractor through the hedgerow. You know?
Right.
Like it looks good. I mean, just wash it off, knock off the dust, park it out front, and you get yourself a very self tractor.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So
little paint.
Yeah. Obviously.
Little shed, little wax,
little check.
Whole lot of sexy.
That's one thing too, is that we came off of a time though where everybody put these massive extensions onto the shop so they could keep everything inside.
Right.
So fortunately, we're in a downturn, but most of the stuff that we have has been shedded every night except for when it was.
Oh yeah,
I feel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that you're exactly right. And it's funny you mentioned that because as you were saying that in my head, I was thinking 14 was the big drop off starting on new equipment sales. Okay. And it just feels like to me as I travel, you know, I'm from southeast Nebraska, so I drive across Nebraska back and forth a few times a year. travel from our whole AOR all over the hill. There's a lot of new buildings that are about that age. Like, okay, well, we bought all this new shit the last couple of years. Let's put up a building so it can sit in a shed. Because we're not doing this yearly roll every year. If it was a yearly roll, whatever.
Right.
But where I got to hang on to it, and I don't want that combine sitting outside anymore because it's mine next year, not somebody else's.
Right.
Better put up a shed.
Yeah.
I've said for years that is the number one equipment investment a guy needs to look at is a shed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that is your big chunk of your depreciation cost right there.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't have that sun fadedness, especially guys that, the further south you go, for whatever reason, I guess the sun's closer to the earth. And it's just, the sun is so much more harsh.
You know why? It's not closer to the earth.
It's more direct sunlight.
It's more direct sunlight.
I knew that.
That's why there's growing seasons.
I went to high school.
And hemispheres.
I went to high school.
That's good.
Yeah.
In 14 colleges.
So, auction market, man, I tell you what, I've never seen the auction market as, for that stuff that's good stuff, be so premium.
Oh, man.
You watch that stuff sell, and I'm just like, we can't even touch that.
If I was to ask that, I would get shot.
What did you think
You
about
guys are crazy. Why are you asking that?
You
Be
sent
like,
me-
well, one brought 10,000 more than that at an auction. That's why.
You sent me that 9770.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the hours, but it was low, like 1,500 hours or something like that.
It was average hours.
But it wasn't.
It was low average.
Low
but
average.
it wasn't like a 500 separator hour combine.
No. About $180,000.
$180,000.
I have no idea what the backstory was.
I think remember looking at the picture, I think it might have had a Hilco on it, but still, it's a 70. Not an S670, a 9770.
You could have bought.
And I think it was a 9 or a 10. I don't think it was
No,
even
it wasn't
an
11. It was single digits.
Right.
I can't remember what it was.
Run of the mill.
Nothing fancy about it. And I don't know the backstory. I watch these farm sales, and I'm like, what? Why?
Right.
Who would? I can't imagine there's a bank going, yep, that's a good one. Take it. Here's $180,000 for $120,000 machine.
Oh, man.
So,
Well, I told you about a month ago now, there was an auction in Illinois where both combines, nice combine. There was a 12,680, like 1,300 sep, and then 11, the all-hallowed 11,9770, similar hours. They brought damn near the same money.
Yeah.
They were like less than 10 grand apart, if I remember.
and we've talked about that before on this. That if you had in that perfect scenario, you had an S sitting next to a 70, that odds on favor would be the 9770 to bring.
Right.
I mean, for what it is, more money. I mean,
Right.
even if they went for the exact same amount, it still brought more money
Right.
for what it was.
I had a guy I sold a combine to had a 9770. It was 8 or 9, and it was up there in hours, like 1,900 hours or something.
Yeah.
And but just beautiful, perfect. Massaged every night, slept in the house, that kind of thing. And I gave him real world trade numbers, and he says, "That's all you're giving me for that combine?" I said, "Yep." I said, "It's a 9770 with X amount of hours." From our standpoint, that's where it's got to be. And I said, so I'm going to do you a favor. Throw that baby on auction time. I guarantee you'll get 15 to 20 more than that. I can't stick my neck out like that. But your combine, the backstory.
Yeah.
30 pictures on there that you took on your farm of how sexy it is, just like the blah, 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 like Heiner said about the auctions, and all that.
Yeah.
I'm like, capitalize that thing. And that's what he ended up doing.
Yeah.
He bought a combine for me. He's going to sell his and cut a fat hog in the ass.
Yeah.
Why not? That's what I would do.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, I tell you what, it's one of those things where you watch that stuff go, and you see these guys do this stuff, and you wonder if they have a nice piece of equipment, what is their motivation to trade it in?
Right.
I mean,
Now, there's some stuff that does come into play, and I think part of that new Oh, some of that new tax.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Some of that new tax stuff is going to show it as income and all this kind of stuff. And
so now, I mean, the way that tax bill works is if you trade something in to a dealership, it's just like you wrote you a check for however much the trade value was, right? So you sell something in, trade something in, and it's $200,000. You now have $200,000 in your income statement. If you have, but whenever you buy, goes into full depreciation, right? So instead of the old Section 179 where you had, the $500,000 trade difference or the $300,000 trade difference or whatever it was, that's what you had 179. That's what you appreciated at now. Now you're talking $450,000 combines, new ones, or $400,000 combines. That's full depreciation. So you're going to take that plus bonus depreciation. So you're going to be able to depreciate 100% of $400,000 or whatever it is, new or used.
Right.
Right across the board.
Which is different wording, but it's the same scenario.
Yeah, it's just they're just do what you
Instead
do
of one step, it's two.
But here's the thing: so whatever they sell on auction, they now have to pay that much. And I mean, if they sold that 8420 or 8400 or whatever that was, that sold for $100,000.
Oh yeah, that 8400
in Maryland or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
That guy has. Well, I don't remember when he sold that. I can't remember if it was
close.
But anyway, that's
$100,000
or whatever it was that it sold for. That's now income.
Right.
So now they have to buy something to offset that. Now the positive thing
Darn
is. Darn it. Now the positive thing for the guy that bought that stuff at the auction, he just puts that straight in his depreciation. Right. Doesn't have any.
Now, that being said, wise one, is that having an impact to some level on the rising auction values on sexy shit?
You could see it that way, but I also think it's just this lack of inventory.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not very many of them out there. If you're going to try to go out and lowball it, good luck to you. It's not going to happen.
Right.
And you might do it at some local consignment sale or something like that, but I don't know how many people are putting in cherry equipment and just the run-of-the-mill bi-monthly consignment sale.
There's some.
It's not very many, though.
There's some. But the internet's a pretty small world and everybody sniffs it out.
That's true. That's very true.
You got that.
Yeah. So what else has been going on?
That's kind of about it. Another, as far as the iron, something else that I felt was super, super hot for a while and feels like it's cooled off a little bit, sprayers.
That's true. Yeah. Our series sprayers there for a while, you could.
Oh my God.
You could just, didn't matter what they were.
Yeah.
It's like, you fill in the hours, but it's $225,000.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is. It was very reminiscent of the 2010 8R market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's just like, I'll take it.
Yeah. I'll trade you straight across on this 12. Okay.
But you remember what it was, though, on those sprayers? It was weird because it wasn't anything less than 1,000 hours was slow, but anything over 1,800 hours was slow. It was, everyone wanted that 1,000, 1,500 hours something to kind of fall in that was really that sweet spot. Now, obviously, you were selling some low hour stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say 750 to 15,
but it was that was close to 1,000, over 1,000 was what people were looking for. Because again, slow economy, whatever else. I want the new technology. I want the direct inject or whatever it is that it's got on it. I can't get on my whatever because it didn't come that way. I buy the kit or whatever it is.
Well, not only that, but I saw some fellas talking on social media the other day. This guy wanted to buy a 4830 and put Exactaplan on it. You can't.
Right.
But you can and R. Right. So that could be driving that too.
Yep. It's the technology.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That is pretty sweet, though.
That is impressive.
I mean, here's your several different selections of chemicals.
Yeah.
And then, here's my tank of water. Yeah.
Crazy.
Get a little squirt here, a little squirt there.
When I was a kid, I remember spraying by turning the pressure knob outside the cab.
When I was a kid, I remember spraying by pumping up the sprayer.
The old spray dock.
All right, man.
And that was a good day. Typically, it was, here's your gloves and here's your shovel.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Here's your 2,4-D and diesel fuel.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to come
and
out.
If it's must thistles, you pull all them damn heads and you put them in a sack.
Yeah. My grandpa didn't like the weed eat, so the bottom of all his fence all the way around was 2,4-D and diesel fuel. Amazing how nothing ever grew there.
No
again.
trimming.
ever again. It's
It's
just bare dirt.
a one-time trimming.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, all right, man. I think that's going to do it for this one.
You betcha.
Got anything you want to do before we shut it down?
I don't.
All right, man. Where they find you on the social media?
Aaron Fintel, just my name on Facebook. Pretty sure that's what it is. And it's at Aaron Fintel on the Twitterverse.
And you can find me at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Moving Iron LLC. So until next time, which will be here shortly in about just a few seconds. Have a good one. This is Casey and Aaron.